When it comes to decisions in our lives, there are many to be made. And all our decisions will actually determine the type of life we'll have. They will affect our future. That's why when it comes to decisions of whether I should or should not take a medicine, I always encourage my clients to become very aware of what the medication they're choosing to take will do, how it will affect them, and what natural options are there. What other alternatives are there? It's true that I may have been in an accident where my life depended on immediate medicine, and I am very grateful when that happens, that I had a good surgeon on my side who took care of me and gave me the medicine I needed to bring me back to a stable moment in my life. But once I'm there and I'm stable, I want to always look at options, because medication should not be long-term. If we inform ourselves, we will learn that there are things that we can replace and use natural alternatives, and they will be healthier for us. Our body continues every day to return us to health. And so what I want to keep in mind always is, when I choose, because I have to make choices, when I choose to take medication, what am I actually choosing? And I want to be empowered to make those decisions based on information that I have, not because my mother said I have to take it, not because my husband, not because my wife, not because my friend said that's what they take and works for them. I have to make decisions for myself, because I'm going to live with those decisions. So as I am diagnosed with different illnesses, and as I am prescribed by my doctor different medicine, I have to make an informed decision. And I can't make it unless I know how the body works. So keep in mind that every time that we put medicine into our body, we are putting chemicals. We are putting something that our bodies are going to battle against, because they haven't been designed to deal with medication. The truth is that everything that I'm exposed to in day after day affects my organs. My organs have a reaction to it, because I should have been designed, or I was designed, we were all designed to live under perfect conditions, but that's not what we have. And our bodies aren't perfect either. So I will have a reaction to everything that's happening. And everything that's happening is worsening as time goes by, because the level of stress goes up. The level of toxins that I get from hair products, from the environment, from just breathing. Even if I'm careful not to smoke, not to drink, I'm still getting in a lot of toxins from the environment. Food no longer has the nutrients that it did, because our soil is depleted from minerals. So there's a lot of things that our bodies are going to be reacting to constantly. That is going to result in organs that are going to work too much. And as they work too much, that will result in organs that get tired. So I have organs working too much, and I have organs that are underactive. Hyper, underactive. And this imbalance is what makes me sick. And this imbalance, when I understand why it happens, it's because I'm not eating foods that are high in nutrients. It's because my environment affects it. It's because I have an illness that is a stress for my body. When those things happen, and also I've chosen medicine that comes in and stresses my body more and creates imbalances. When I understand that that's what makes my body imbalanced, and when I understand that I don't have in the food the things to react accordingly, and I can't very well walk in a bubble, so I am going to be exposed to these toxins in the air. When I understand those things, now I'm a little bit more empowered to make better decisions as to what I'm going to bring into the body. Will I bring more toxins in? Well, I don't really want to do that. So maybe medicine is not always the option. So I've taken medicine because I was in an emergency. My life depended on it. I'm now stable. I'm looking into what can I take away and no longer take with regards to medicine? What is the natural alternative? There will always be natural alternatives. Work closely with your doctor and tell him what you want, or her what you want. Because if you get a doctor that is willing to work with you and not just push medicine, you'll get a doctor that will help you find natural solutions as well. But you have to be informed, because doctors do not necessarily, it is not a requirement unless they choose to do it, it is not a requirement for them to study nutrition. It's why they send you to a nutritionist after they see you. because that's not their realm, their forte. So unless you have a doctor that actually did study that, which are available as well, you have to be informed. I have to know what options I have so that I can come to the doctor, and with his wisdom and my knowledge, we can come to an accord as to, I want to get off this medication and try this. Will you just monitor me? And then you can successfully go the route you want to go. But you have to understand that medicine only makes those organs work more. So if I've been in a situation where I chose to take chemo or radiation, and now having gone that route, I am over those sessions that they gave me for that, and now my body is reacting and I'm having organs that are working too much or working less than they should. The tendency will be, because I have symptoms associated with that, the tendency will be that the doctor will want to give me more medication. Well, why don't you take this? Why don't you take that? Because remember, the doctor wants to make you happy. If you're complaining, he has a solution. He can address the symptoms. After all, that's what you want. That's what you're going to the doctor for. So, but if we don't understand that a lot of those symptoms and reactions are because I was exposed to the chemo, I was exposed to this radiation that was very toxic to my body, it exhausted my organs, it made some work more than they should, a lot of these things after that are going to simply be that. Once you understand that, you may want to give your body some time to heal, some time to go through those symptoms. Don't rush to try to make all these symptoms go away. Because a lot of the times when we've gone through big bouts of steroids or, like I said, radiation or chemo, we will have reactions. And we now need to let our body heal. And as it heals, it will be in pain a little bit, or it will have these symptoms for a bit until it acquires the balance. The neat thing about adaptogens versus medicine is given for a specific imbalance. The doctor has to be sure what it is you have before he prescribes a medication. So if the organ is working too much, he gives you something to bring it down. And if the organ is working too little, it's hypo, he gives you something to bring it up. Because he understands that it is the balance that brings health. Here's what the problem is. Let's say that that organ was working too much because I just went through bouts of a certain medicine, or chemo, or radiation, or steroids, or whatever it was I took for years, and now my reaction is, as I get off of that my organ is working too much or too little, and so now or in this case, too much, and so now the doctor wants to give me something to bring it down because I'm having a symptom. If you keep in mind and understand that your body is reacting to what you just went through in an illness, in a trauma, in an accident, in a surgery, in bouts of medicine you had to take, then you may want to just be patient until this organ works the way it should. If it's because, but medicine will always, if your organ is down, will always bring it up. If your organ is up, will always bring it down, because there's a specific medicine for each imbalance. There's a specific one for hyper, there's a specific one for hypo, and then it balances. So, well, it's supposed to balance it, the medicine. So what happens if it was only because of a reaction of what I was going through or what I went through in my life? The medicine, the accident, the illness, the bouts of excessive medicine I gave. What happens? Because if that's why it was happening and I go and proceed to give it medicine, I'm actually not letting the body heal. I'm actually addressing something that is just a simple reaction to something that was happening. And so now what happens? On a good day, when that organ is okay because it's beginning to heal, I'm still giving medicine to make it hyper because it was hypo, or I'm still giving it medicine to make it hypo because it was hyper. See the problem? There will be good days in your life where you're on vacation and you're not stressed. Life is good today, and so that organ is working the way it should. But you're still giving it medicine to make it hyper if it was hypo, or hypo if it was hyper. But you no longer need it. You don't need it that particular day because that organ is not working the way it should, the way it shouldn't. It's actually working fine because it wasn't a stressful day for you. That's the problem with medicine. Medicine is geared to help you only in one direction. Make something more, make something work less. But on those days when stress, because now we understand it's stress that makes these organs work more or less, when everything is working fine for that particular day, why would I want to keep exacerbating my body by making it work differently or affecting it differently? That's the beauty of adaptogens. Adaptogens will come into the body, and will work on either side of the imbalance. What is your day like today? Is this organ hyperactive? The adaptogen knows and helps work it to come down and balance it. What is your day like today? Is your organ hypoactive, underactive? The adaptogen will work to make it activate to be balanced. What is your day like today? Is it fine? Then the adaptogen simply strengthens your organ. See the beauty of adaptogens? You don't need to know what your particular organ is doing that day. Is my thyroid working too much or too little today? Is my blood pressure too high or too low today? I don't need to worry about that, because my only concern is to bring adaptogens into the body, and they will help balance that imbalance on either side of the imbalance. And on days when I'm good, my blood pressure isn't high, my blood pressure isn't low, my thyroid isn't hyperactive, my thyroid is not hypoactive, it's actually right where it should be. On those days, then adaptogens simply strengthen you and then keep you there. That's the beauty of adaptogens. That's the beauty of addressing the body as a whole, of not just going in and taking one product for the thyroid, one product for the heart so that the blood pressure is the way it should. That's the beauty of adaptogens. Adaptogens are plants that will come into the body and work on either side of the imbalance, and they won't only work on one organ. They will have side effects, but there will be nice side effects. There will be side effects that you took it for one reason, but it benefits you in so many other. So once you understand that that's the way your body reacts to the stress of what we eat, what we take, medication we've had, illnesses where we've needed bouts of extra medication, when we understand that it's our body reacting, we may choose to give it adaptogens and give it time to heal. Give it some time to be in pain. Give it some time to do what it has to do. And know that adaptogens are there to help you. They're your friends. They know more than you do. They will work on various things at the same time and on both sides of the imbalance. When you understand that, you will not be quick to make decisions into yes, 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 I'll take all these medicines you're giving me because yes, I want to feel better. You'll understand that your body wants you to feel better. And if it's in pain, it's only because it needs adaptogens. It needs the nutrients we're not getting in our food. It needs the nutrients that are being pulled out of us all the time with this toxic environment we live in, with the stress we're exposed to. So when you understand those things, you'll work with your body, and you'll work with your entire body versus just addressing your body by symptoms. And I hope you do that. Please remember, I'm not a doctor. I do not diagnose. I do not prescribe, treat illnesses at all. What I share with you is 30 years of having worked with people to help them and to empower them to make decisions for themselves regarding their health. And what I share comes from someone who has been diagnosed herself for years, or was for years diagnosed with thyroid issues and never took medicine for it, and actually don't have an issue with the thyroid now. So I know that medicine, I know that natural alternatives work. It also comes from someone who brought up her children. That's me. I brought up my children. One is 22 right now as I make this video, and 27. I brought up both of my boys without vaccinating them. Even when one of them was born at a time when they were giving vaccines on the date of birth. I mean, you couldn't leave the hospital without that vaccination. So even though there were requirements that made me, or that anybody else would have thought you had to choose this and say yes to it, I didn't. I brought my children up without vaccination, without doctor visits or wellness visits. I did visit the doctor with them when I thought they had broken something, because I want good surgeons on my hand and I want to take care of my children. But when it comes to health and things that give them fever or give them bumps or give them things in their skin that the doctors call chicken pox or whatever, I can address all those things myself with knowledge if I understand how my body works and if I work with it. So keep that in mind. The more you empower yourself with knowledge, the more you will have the ability to make choices for your health and not put those decisions in the hands of others that will never take care of your health the way you will. So I'm happy to share all this with you. Please ask me or post or send me. You have access to my phone number. It's like all over in different areas. And if not, ask me for it on this video and I'll post it so that you have it. And if you've gotten this video from someone else, then obviously ask them, because they have just as much interest in your health, and that's why they're sharing this video with you. Be empowered, allow yourself to be empowered, gain knowledge every day so that you make wise decisions regarding your health.